Welcome, everybody. We're back to Aces53. This week, we thought it'd be fun since it's Valentine's Day to pick up where we left off. Well, I thought it'd be fun. We'll see what Ed thinks of it. We were talking about prospecting anyway. And since it's Valentine's Day, why not talk about dating and how to meet those prospects at the same time?
And wife, I'm not really out looking. I'm just helping Brian out today.
Yeah, well, it was, relative. I mean, because we're going to talk about you later anyway. And why is it an important day for you, Ed? Just not just what you're going to do for your wife for Valentine's Day, but
my book came out today.
Don't seem so excited about it.
My book came out today. Here, should I get the jerk video going again?
Yes.
I'm somebody. I wish I could get that excited about a phone book.
That's right.
Look right here. I'm somebody. And that's yes. I'm just really. I'm sorry. I've been a lot. The last few days has been a lot. I'm tired. I apologize, but I'm normally grumpy anyway. That's why they call me Big Hangry.
I know you're just today. You're just grumpy
And but I got my big hangry hat on.
Too. Buy your name there. GetEdsBook.com, right?
And if it doesn't work because you got high protection going on, take that condom off and go to somewhere else. No,
so then get on Amazon. Just
go to Ed Parco. Well, you have two places, right? You can go to Amazon, type in Ed Parco or Financial Freedom, Building Personal Wealth Through Home Ownership. Go to edparco.com, click book tab, and just hit the button. It'll take you there. GetEdsBook.com should work for most people. I have them still working on it. See why it was working perfect. And then all of a sudden, 24 hours later, it was like, I can't do it from my office, but if I get off my office Wi-Fi and use my cell phone, it goes right in.
That's strange.
But but you know what? We're a mortgage company, so we have high protection.
Well, I told you I'm having weird issues with Gmail today, where all of a sudden most of my emails are gone. So who knows?
Because they weren't finished reading them.
That's right. No,
they had to go through. They're like, we're a little behind on reading your emails, so we're going to take them from you until we think we know what you have, and then we'll give them back to you.
Exactly. So
well, it's lately with us, right? We always hear bubble, 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 and I'm saying the only bubble we're seeing in my industry is the opportunity bubble, which is going away. You need to hurry up. I'm not trying to tell you got to get out tomorrow, but you have a little bit of time before that opportunity we have right now is going to be gone. Because we're seeing huge change in my industry right now, where there was maybe one offer if you're lucky, and now there's 8 offers and 6 offers and more like that.
So it's back to that again.
Yeah, already started. So that means eventually sellers aren't going to help you. New builders are going to stop giving all this extra stuff. It's not that way. Las Vegas is getting busier. I'm sure Texas is getting busier once you get through those ice storms. But and people go, oh, it's actually nice to live here. I don't have to get my ice skates on to go everywhere. But that's not what we wanted to talk about today, did we?
No, not at all. No, what we're talking about.
Thanks for talking about my book. I appreciate that.
Well, it's important. We need you to be successful at something in your life.
Yeah. Well, when you're the authority in the industry, I got somebody trying to get me to speak at his thing. I can talk to you afterwards. It's just, you work hard to be that person to where, people know that you have knowledge, right? They don't want to know how much you care until they know how much you know, or whatever that that saying. Yeah.
People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
There you go. Okay. All right. So, I've been doing the radio show for August of 18. That's doing really well. Then I do 5 lives a week from the radio show. I'm sorry, 7 lives a week from the radio show, plus the radio show. Yeah. I can't count today. Plus then I'm doing the podcast for Helping the Brave now on Wednesdays. We just do once a week because we couldn't keep up. And then I'm picking back up my Inner Edison. I stopped for about 3 months because I didn't like where I went with it. You understand what I mean? Because it was all about your greatest accomplishments come from your greatest defeats. Well, it took too long to get to the defeats with people, and that's what I wanted to talk about. And then a ton of people started coming, and I did so many podcasts. I'm like, this is not where I wanted to go with this. So I said, I'm stopping for 3 months until I figure out where I want to go. And I'm starting that up this week. So
got it.
Right there. What's the matter? You got shininess on your sunglasses?
I got glare. Yeah. I don't know what it's from. Might be from all the hot air that you got going on.
Can you see without those glasses on?
Yeah. These just are the computer glasses.
Oh, you just try to wear them to make you look more intelligent?
Well, I try. I need all the help I can get in that area.
Yeah.
So anyway,
you're good. You're good. But no, what I was going to get about when I was talking about somebody wants me talking, I think you'd be good for the talk. but they also want you to sponsor. It's like, I don't sponsor.
Yeah.
If you don't, yeah, it's got to work for me, and it doesn't work for me right now. So,
That makes
but we
perfect
want to
sense.
be the authority in the industry. I can tell you how to do that. Get a radio show, get a book, and get in a documentary, and you're pretty much there.
Sounds like that should be one of the future ones, right? Establishing authority. That'd be a
Mm-hmm.
whole episode.
And that's that. We'll get to that, but that's
Yeah.
where you got to go, and it's all about. I know, our buddy Steve Sims, who's putting on a speakeasy and coming up. His big thing is, branding is when you leave the room, what they say about you. But branding gets, and I agree with a lot of that. But you have to have a lot of other things besides the branding to be able to be successful, right?
True. Yeah, it's
'Cause
definitely a major component of it, but it's not the only
huge.
component.
No,
Yes.
because they need to know who you are, right? And that's why your website's important, so they can find you, but it's not everything. It's only part of it, because they're going to Google you, they're going to go you, they're going to do a lot of stuff to see who you are, and you want to make sure you come up right. I know when I Google you, you come up everywhere
Now, but it
Yeah,
wasn't
you
until
used to
I
only
started
come up
doing
on my
YouTube.
podcast. You used
Yeah.
to only come up on my podcast on my lives.
You know what changed that? Doing the YouTube videos. Since YouTube's owned by Google, ever since doing the YouTube, it's just exploded with what shows up. Because before, nothing would show up under my name. So that's only been in the last month or so. But anyway, on to
stay here. No, because that's all part of prospecting.
True.
Social media is part of the prospecting process. They need to know what you know when they're trying to find you, right?
That's
It's not everything. It's only a part of it. And I think people get caught up too much in just doing social media or not doing social media and YouTubes and everything. And you have to put that time in, and we can stay here and go and talk about other stuff as we go. But you brought this up, and I think it's so important. I did so many YouTube, the lives I do go to YouTube, but it doesn't get picked up the same way if you did a video and cut it and drop it on there, or a short. If I drop a short, you get thousands of views. If I put a live up there, I might get 20 views, right?
That's
from people who know me, who know me and go there, but they don't promote those. You wish they would promote those, but they don't. That's not their thing. It's the shorts that they're pushing more than anything else right now.
Right, because they're wanting to compete with the other, TikTok and everything else. But you're right. You put up a short, you put up a live, 8-10 people may watch it, views, but you put up a short, you're hitting hundreds right away. Right. And it's weird. I think you and I talked about this on a previous one. If I do it 10:30 in the morning on some platforms, you get nothing. But if you do 4:30, that's a hot spot. YouTube is one you can put up pretty much any time of the day. There's always somebody screwing around on YouTube. But to your point, the reason why it's important is, you can go out, you can prospect, but people don't know who the hell you are. So they're going to look at a few different things, like, what's your email address? I told some guy cold DM'd me today. He's like, oh, I do all this work for all these people. I said, man, you got a Gmail email on here. I said, that doesn't look professional to me. Oh, well, that helps me get past people's spam folder. I go, well, it doesn't work on me. Because as soon as I see Gmail, I think you're sitting in your mom's basement. You don't know what else you're doing,
Well, little does he know that you can set up your company with a Gmail email, but it actually has your company email.
And that's exactly what I told him. I said, look, it's smoke and mirrors to a degree, but it makes a difference, right? It's the difference between, do you go have your business cards printed out, or do you handwrite them on a piece of paper? It's the same thing. It's the same data, but it's the presentation of it. Right. And the other thing I told him is, he's like, well, we work with thousands of people. I said, good. Well, then you should, I only work with somebody who's been referred to me by somebody I know. So who have you worked with that now? Well, I don't know. Give me names. Hey, you approach me. Right. If you approach me, you should know who I know. And one guy tried to get slick and say, well, I create Alex Hormozy like videos. And I said, I know the guy who's managing Alex Hormozy's stuff. He's like, well, that's why I said it's like Alex Hormozy. And I see. So people are funny.
Yeah. Well, I had a live I talked about today about the scams they're still doing with wire fraud. Mm-hmm. And it's just huge what they're doing with wire fraud. And you have to be so careful not to be taken advantage of with that. And it's the same with everything. And back to dating, though, you're going to want to know who this person is. So if they're on YouTube everywhere else, you're going to be able to know who they are and what they do. So it's important to do videos, right, to who we are. And I'm going to say this. Before you worry about prospecting for that person you want, it's the same thing that you have to do about business. Who is your client? Who is that person? And what do you want from them? Same thing with prospecting for your spouse. Since you're going to talk about this significant other, is I created a list of what I wanted in a person, not what I didn't want in a person, but what I wanted in a person. Everybody told me I would never find it. My wife had a list, which I didn't know at the time. I've talked about this before, and they said she would never find it. Well, we each didn't get one thing on our list, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's not 5'9", she's 5'4" and something. I really don't care. I've been dating short people forever, so it's not a big deal. I just was trying to get somebody taller, but oh well, I can deal with that. I wasn't a fireman on her thing. She thought she wanted me gone every other night, for 24 hours, or she thought she wanted me in a calendar, wanted me to be in a calendar for her. Yeah, whatever. Don't say that. Somebody might try to find me now.
Yeah.
You're the arsonist. No, that's Brian Galkey being funny.
Yeah, that's me being funny. Well,
trying to be anyway. Right. But I'm just saying, but dating is the same thing as going after clients that you're trying to. Who is your target market? If you don't know who you're going after, there's your first mistake.
Right. Well,
who's your target? So hold on.
Who just jumped in. Yeah. Well, no, wait, for somebody who just jumped in, because we talked about a lot. What was the goal since today's Valentine's Day? That's why we were joking about prospecting is like dating. Because if not, if somebody just joins now, they're like, what in the hell is going on?
Well, so, they say that about our videos.
Anyway, that's true.
We'll cut this up and put this on. So, and then we were talking about lives, doing these lives. In order to make them work on YouTube, you got to cut up, drop them on YouTube, cut up a little bit and drop it on. Yes. But again, that takes a lot of time.
Oh, yes. Right?
Yep. And that's why it's to do this, you need the right people and the right company, but it's hard to do that. And even myself, I'm putting together stuff to make it easier for me. I had a person and had some other people doing it. It just got so costly. The ROI on it wasn't worth it.
Right.
You got to do this with ROI. I'm going to be I got 12,000 plus on my subscribers. It's still not, yes. Okay. I'm going to put on my book. Here's my book. I might get 1 or 2 out of that, but that's not where I'm going to get my business from. I do have people reach out to me about and have questions and stuff like that. And I answer those questions for them, but I can't help everybody on the internet.
Right.
You can.
Yeah, but that's why you're trying different things on different mediums, right? And so going back to prospecting on social media, that's why you have to post on LinkedIn, YouTube. You don't know where your audience is, but it is interesting because like you were mentioning earlier, like where do you go to find somebody? Well, dating is no different than trying to find a client. You brought up the point of the list. First off,
you need to know who it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people say, oh, I like blondes, brunettes, redheads, whatever. But it's now as you get older or when you're trying to grow your business, you have to get so much more specific of, what am I looking for? What type of avatar are they? What business are they in? What do they spend money on? Where are they located? And if you're going for physical proximity, where would you go to meet that person? So using in the business example, I know people who will have lunch or do drinks at the Ritz here in Dallas because who hangs out at the Ritz? Business people hang out at the Ritz, right? Versus if you want or there's a place called Javier's here where people go for cigars. Why? Because much like golf, cigars take a long time to smoke, so you're there with somebody for 20 to 30 minutes. So it's a great way to have casual conversations with people versus sitting in a meeting room or a boardroom. Like I can't tell you how many golf tournaments there are here in Texas because we have nice weather most of the year, and a lot of people close a lot of business deals on the golf course because you get 3 to 4 hours in a golf cart with someone where if you had a 3 or 4 hour meeting, they'd be ready to kill you by the time you're done with it because they got other things to do, but you can chat while you're having fun. So much like prospecting this way, there's different dating apps for people, right? And people can choose. Is it the one where the girl reaches out to the guy first? So are you doing marketing so people reach out to you? Are you doing paid ads? Are you the one who's going to be initiating the interaction? So are you reaching out to people through LinkedIn? Are you going to events where your ideal customer is going to be there? Like we talked about, it's the Ritz or somewhere else. Or are you going to let's say romantic side? Are you going to a happy hour where there's for singles or there's ladies night? There's all these different ways to think about things. So you can do it online. You can do it through your social media. You can do it through social organizations. Are you part of a charity? A charity event is a great way to meet a ton of people because it's all people coming together for a common good. And there's books, articles, you name it, about people who will research their top 25, 50, 100 clients, like Russell Brunson's the Dream 100, I think that he has. But there's a lot of people who talked about the way that they found into their biggest business deals was charity work, because a lot of people are thankful for what they have and they want to give back. And when you're in there and you're doing things for other people, conversations happen. Or I can't remember who it was. Somebody wanted to meet somebody who was high up, and it was in one of the books I read. And what they did is they found out who was that person's favorite charity. They donated to the point where they got to be a part of that charity, and then they ended up getting seated next to that person. That's how they won their first huge business deal. Was they kind of stalked them through something that they loved, and so it's no different. We know what we want, but it's how do we interact with that person? So you find a list of things that they like. What are your commonalities? And those are some things you focus on. And dating is no different. You would go somewhere that you want to hang out. You don't necessarily want to go somewhere that, if in the dating world, you wouldn't go to a bar that you don't normally go to, or a restaurant or a church that you don't normally go to, just to try and meet one person. You'd be better off going to places you enjoy, just like business meetings. Go to charity functions that you enjoy. Go to networking events that you enjoy. Don't go to stalk out just one person. You'll naturally find that ideal person if you're going to the things that you already enjoy being a part of.
I agree, but I want to go a little bit differently. If you have your list of who your perfect client is, who your perfect spouse is,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all you focus on, and that's all you go after. You just find out where they are. That's
Yeah.
where you go.
Right.
I remember there was one agent I wanted to get to know, and I knew they worked out at the gym I worked out at. And so I waited until, I didn't wait there at the gym for him, but I was like, I know I'll run into him. I tried different hours of the day, and then, you have a nonchalant conversation, just, hey, how you doing? And keep going. And then you build it over time. You
Right.
can't go directly at them. And that's the same thing. Are you selling to C-suite people? How are you talking?
Mm-hmm.
It's all different, because you can't have a conversation with somebody that is higher up just automatically about trying to sell them something. You got to get to know them. That's why you're talking about golfing is really good for people. But
Absolutely.
in my, when I'm dealing with clients, it's not, I have 5 to 10 minutes to connect. And that's why I think it's important for what you do. And I was explaining to somebody else today about that you can help people connect with somebody within 25 to 30 seconds by
Mm-hmm.
knowing who they are, with their eyebrows, their mouths, the other stuff that you work on. And you can get to know them and connect with them on a level that you would never be able to connect with them. And that's what's so important.
Yeah, we were talking. I did a presentation with another group, and they're asking. They are huge into disc, right? And disc is
Mhm.
good, but you have to work with somebody for a longer period of time to figure out what are they in the disc. Are they D and I, S, or C? But you
Or
have,
hold on. Or they
yeah,
got to take the test.
exactly. They have to take the test now, and this is something else that's completely different. You can look at. I didn't get a chance to watch the color code thing that Steve did the other day, but I want to watch it because I heard another speaker talking about, well, what color are they? And then when I was at door to door con, somebody's like, what animal are they? There's all these different ways to categorize people, but a majority of that is reactive versus proactive. And that's what I
Right.
love about the facial feature stuff.
Right. And I'm not trying to keep talking of how up you are and how great you are, but if you learn what he has, that it just helps you so much greater. And then maybe add some NLP in there and some body
Mm-hmm.
language, and next thing you know, nobody could touch you.
Oh, I keep Janine's book here all the time. Whoops. You say more than you think, because it's about controlling your own body language, not necessarily. It's good to read other people's, but how are you presenting when you show up as well? Exactly. Hands
Yeah.
in pockets, arms crossed, you name it.
Well, I do it all, and none of it means what people think of me. It's like, sometimes arms crossed just means I'm tired.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Well,
mean
and that's exactly what that book and Joe Navarro's book, What Everybody is Saying, says. You have to go from baselines. The only time that you have to worry about crossed arms is if somebody suddenly crosses really fast, not, okay, maybe your back hurts. Like you said, maybe you're uncomfortable. You name it. Maybe you're cold. So it's all these different books. And that's why it's so important to learn from so many different sources and not just a source for
right.
anything. Yep.
But go back to basics. You need to know who your client is. You need to know
Absolutely.
who you're going after. And a lot of people don't understand that. And in my industry, a lot of us, use a shotgun approach. I'm everybody.
Mm-hmm.
No, you need to be a certain niche, a couple of niches. It's fine, but don't say because I do first time home buyers, I do veterans, I do reverse mortgages, I do business owners, I do. It's you can't be a specialist for everything.
Right.
You there? Yeah.
That's just it. So it used to be that you had to be the jack of all trades. And what's changed is now people want more specific niches. And that's how you stand out. If you try and learn a little about a lot, that's not as valuable anymore. That used to be the old mentality, right? Oh, you need to know a little bit of everything. No, what we're getting into is the more specific knowledge you have, the more you're rewarded for it. So,
And the more niche you are, the better it is. I right
especially
now
with
just
branding. Yeah.
oh yeah, I just got hit up to have a sponsor for our Helping the Brave show,
Mhm.
and because of because it's for veterans and how important that is, and I don't know if it's going to happen because I don't know their true thing, but things like that come to you because I'm into the niches and not just
Absolutely.
yeah. And
Well,
that I do have my hold on, I'm sorry, I was talking. I see 2 ears silence, listen. I'm just kidding.
uh,
So my book came out today, right? We talked about that, but I'm already in the process of doing another one just for veterans,
oh,
niching it down. I wanted to do a general one that's for first time home buyers, anybody else who wants to understand credit, kind of stuff. I
mhm.
really wanted to do one for veterans from the start, but I just knew it was so niched down that 17% of the population of veterans, but that doesn't mean out of that 17%, all of them are going to buy homes at this point, or they haven't already. So I just knew the first one first, then niche it down after that.
Makes sense.
Does it?
Sorry, I'm double checking something real fast.
Yeah, I know you get a little slow there,
I'm
and I'm
seeing.
not.
Yeah,
You're good.
I'm about to kill my mail. See if it stops. All right.
Don't say those things out loud. People heard that. Anyway,
That's
uh,
right.
I heard one thing: kill Mel. Oh.
Yeah.
So the
Mail.
big, yeah, the big MAIL, I think it was, not MALE.
Yes.
Anyway, all right.
Right.
So the most important thing we wanted to get across today is the connection, the between the two, dating for somebody and business. It's pretty much the same thing. You break it down to what you're looking for, who you're looking for, and that's what you go after in business, and that's what you go after in spouse. You just have to know
Absolutely.
that. But most people just go to a bar. I don't like you. We all
Yeah,
do that at one point. Brian still does that, but one day he'll stop. Uh,
that's right. Wow. Whoa, whoa. Why did I stop?
no, you don't have to, pineapple.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But you're right, though.
no, it's
So,
just
number one, you have to have your criteria. You have to
Mhm.
know what, at least an idea of what you're looking for. And again, not just, well, I want a business owner. What type of business owner? What are they into? How can I get in contact with them? Where do they go to? You have to know those things before you can prospect. So, there are so many professions that's just literally dialing for dollars, but that's hit or miss. Who answers their phone this day and age? I mean, that's why text marketing is becoming more and more popular. Like we talked about in the last episode, direct mail is coming back because people stopped answering their phones. So it's constantly thinking, what's the best way to reach someone?
right. And then with do not call lists and opt out pre-screen and all the stuff you can opt out of so that people don't call. But I mean, it's I answer my phone when it's somebody I know. I don't answer it if it says spam
Yes.
potentially or this or that. It's just because I don't want that call. Or if I answer a call and it's like a pause, I hang up. Right?
Hmm.
Because they haven't connected yet. That's what everybody does. Everybody's pre-screening everything. So if if you're going to talk to somebody, you need to search them on LinkedIn. You need to find out what they're into on Facebook,
Right.
what they're, are they on TikTok? Are they somewhere else? Yes, I guess this would be stalking them, but you need to find out who you want to talk to and what they're into so you can connect with them, right? Not to stalkerish,
Absolutely.
but it's more and more each week. It's like, do you know how many searches you came up on LinkedIn? Really? Me? Right?
Yeah.
It's like, and that's what people do. They're trying to find out who this person is that they want to connect with so they can sell you something or they can connect with you one way or another. And I get that. It's the same thing.
Right.
When we need something, we're going to do the same thing.
I'm watching one of Martha's videos right now, and they were talking about when you set up groups of things, you need to set up what are keyword searches that will help people find your group. And why is that important? Because that's the same thing you need to do with your business, right? Is if somebody
Mhm.
goes in to type in certain things into Google, how is that going to redirect to you? So that's kind of a reverse prospecting, but you have to do the work up front. So when somebody types in those words, how do they find you? And you mentioned this earlier with you doing helping the brave and everything else. If somebody goes in and types in veteran, right? Loan, things like that. That's how they're going to find you. But a lot of people think, oh, I've just got to put my name out there, me, me, me. But it's the what about you? Because unless somebody knows your name, they're not going to Google Brian Galkey. But if they were to Google certain things, then they could end up on my page or on Ed's page, right? So they maybe go and typing best selling mortgage book, right? And then your book may show up, but they wouldn't just Google your name because nobody knows who the hell you are.
May show up.
May.
Well,
Will
show up. Will show up. I was number 2 before I go live, so I'm still number 2 right now.
Well,
in pre-orders.
Let's see what happens after today. Today is the big launch day.
Tonight, tomorrow, the next day, we'll see what happens.
Started this morning.
Well, I'm just saying, your numbers, your statistics. By the end of the day, we'll see where the numbers are. So I'm getting that.
So speaking of, is there a reason why you chose Valentine's Day for your book to go live?
Yeah, it was just 2/14. They go live on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think it'd be a great gift for you to give your significant other.
If you want something,
it is. You want to, hey, honey, we want to buy a house, right? Yeah, here you go. Here's how we can do it together. Here, read the book. It's a great way. It's a great book for that. Yeah. It worked. It worked. And why wait any longer? And the way I'm seeing right now with a change in the market, it's great to have that out there. I've used it so much in the last few weeks, giving it to clients ahead of time, and they've come back with questions, and it's made my life so much easier.
So for people who don't have a full book in them, this is actually a great segue for something for a minute. I talked to another person who's a speaker, and I said, well, how did they get started? And what they did is they bought in to have a chapter in a book with several other authors. And then what they did is they bought so many copies of the book, because when you give something away and you're an author, even if it's not the entire book that's yours, but you're in print, that gives you credibility. So that's an early way to kind of dip your toe in, right? And then you get to your level where you have enough knowledge for an entire book. But that idea overwhelms a lot of people. Even when you talk about somebody, hey, can you create a short ebook? People flip out. I don't have that much information.
I don't know,
so that's another way to prospect.
Yeah. I'm a redneck. I don't know, right? I'd have help.
Right. But you think about, like, you've been in a documentary. You're not, the entire documentary is not about you, but you saying you're in a documentary because of what you've experienced and what you've done, that gives you credibility, right? It's not entirely about you, but because you're in it, because of what you've done, it could be that same way. People could put a chapter in a book with someone else as a first step to getting themselves out there and prospecting that way as well.
Why don't we move this to next week, and we'll talk about how to be authority in your industry. So when you prospect, people can find you and know who you are, because it makes it so much easier. Excuse me. Makes it so much easier to, when you're up against competition, when they go, okay, he does this, or she does this. What do you do?
Yes.
Right. It makes a difference, because it's about who wants to work with the most educated person that you can have. Well, as long as I have common sense, I do. But I don't want, because sometimes super educated people are really difficult to connect with. But what I'm getting at, I want to talk to somebody who knows that industry they're in. That's all I care about. I don't care what they dress like. I don't care any of that. I just care, or anything other than the fact that they're the most educated person on what I need them to tell me about.
Absolutely. Well, we've gone from a society that all we had in the past was advertising. Advertising and marketing told us what was a good company and what wasn't. Now we have feedback, right? So you can go read reviews, you can learn from things. And that's the biggest change. Is it used to be whoever could advertise on TV or radio, that was it. Now it's not just what do you advertise, but what can people read up about you? Can they see testimonials? Can they see reviews? Think about when we were growing up, the only way you knew a product was good was some celebrity, movie star, actor, whatever it is, told you, oh, this watch is great, or this liquor is great, or I smoke these cigarettes. People are like, oh, crap, I'm going to go buy those too, because I want to be cool like them. Now it's more about micro influencers and common people that you can research versus celebrities. I mean, we still see celebrities in print, but they don't have the corner of the market like they used to.
Right. I mean, and that's why you have affinity marketing and everything else that's out there right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, because you can even do it on my own book. I can do my own book, or you could do my book. So go grab a affinity link when you push out my book today, so that you can tell her, hey, go check this out. Here it is. Here's a link, and then you'll get paid so many cents on each book.
Yeah, that's
well. The big thing is if it's on Amazon. So once they go there, you got 24 hours. Anything they buy while they're there is under you.
Yep, I've got an Amazon. It's not an affiliate. What's it called now? I actually have it open right now. Amazon associate, I think is what they call
Yeah,
it.
that's what it
I've
is,
got
and it's
my
taking
that
your
website
it's
turned
taking
on
your
right now.
Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
by the way. Yeah. You can't do anything else besides talk.
Well, I've got it
Brian.
in offline mode. That's like,
It didn't
Yeah.
matter. It still slowed down.
I know.
All
I know.
right.
I'm getting that's new laptop is coming as well. So
All right.
hopefully
Well,
that's
we'll see. We'll see if it gets better. We hope it gets better.
Yeah. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
It's been, I've known you for what, a year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it hasn't been better in a year.
A little over that. Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever San Diego was.
Yep. Speaking of which,
All right.
bummer you won't be at the next speakeasy, but we'll catch up soon enough in person.
Yeah. Well, I gotta miss one every few years.
That's true. Let Adam take the title.
Adam. Oh, Adam
Isn't he?
has the title. Yeah, he's not missed one since he started.
Oh,
I've
really?
missed a few. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he's got the title because he has.
You're missing out because this one's in Dallas. I know where we're going, what we're doing. So a local representative.
There you go. All right. So next week, Thursday we have
Joe Ingram.
Who?
Yeah, Joe Ingram.
Okay.
So he's gonna be talking about how he does prospecting for what he works with dealerships on what they call their BDC center, which is their business development center. So, just like car dealerships, there's two ways that they get business. They reach out to people or they wait for people to come in. So he does more of the reaching out side of how do they get people to come in versus people whose car died or their car got hit and they have to go buy something.
Right.
So he'll be our guest for next week or this week.
This Thursday.
Yes.
All right. And then next week we'll pick up same kind of prospecting, but how to make it easier for yourself, work on a few things about your authority in your industry. We'll get a few things together for that. And we'll see if we can find somebody to talk about that on Thursday. Also, go over it on Tuesday, and then we'll have somebody who also does it and part of their thing.
Yep.
Does that work for you?
Yes,
works for me.
That works.
All right. I want to thank everybody for watching this. Brian, thank you for running this today. I appreciate it.
Yep. Everybody have a happy Valentine's Day.
Yep. And go out and get my book.
That's right. A book you're going to love.
I know I promote myself too much, and that's not me at all. Just like Brian's not big at promoting him. I can promote him. He needs to promote me, I guess. Something like that.
This is true. So getedsbook.com, just like you see an Ed's name right here.
And if that doesn't work, just go do it on your phone. Get off the Wi-Fi. Do it on your phone. Then it'll work. All right, everybody, make it a great day. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you watching. If you like what we do here, comment and let us know. And if you watch this afterwards, just type, # replay so we know. Thank you.